Hello, everybody. I've just come to the realization that if I don't record anything right now, that it's probably gonna be another 4 to 5 months or even longer before I come back. And so I'm just gonna do an audio recording for now, check in with you guys, and let you know what I've been up to. Um, by the end of the video, you're gonna understand that I can't possibly film a video right now. It took me about 10 minutes to figure out where my where my microphone is, and where to plug it in, and what software to use. I'm completely out of practice, but yeah, I can't keep going like this. It's irresponsible to you guys, and I don't want to come off as being careless or not caring about my listeners, because I really do care about you guys. You know that I've been in touch with most of the basic group that's been on my channel for the past few months, and you guys know what's going on with me. um, but anywho, I'm just gonna uh, update you a little bit on what's been going on in my life. So I've been gone for about 4.5 months. Um, the time really helped me, and it also helped me realize that what I've been, or what I was trying to do on my channel, before the break, it's just not working for me, because I'm not your typical YouTuber. I can't acquire technology knowledge about how to do fancy schmancy live streams with all kinds of pop-ups and all that kind of stuff. I just can't do it because I don't have the time to deal with that in my free time, because I don't have enough free time. And in my free time, I don't have the energy to acquire all that knowledge. And so I'm just going to have to keep going the way I was going before the break, and that is trying to post whenever I can and update you guys on things that I'm thinking about or that I'm going through in my life. And so for now, and just a little head warning, this recording is going to be all over the place. But for those of you that have been waiting for this recording, it's not going to be so bad. But I'm going to touch on a lot of topics that mean something to me at this point in time. And so what have I been up to? I've been working, and working some more. And it's been kind of warm in Germany. I don't want to say hot, because it's not really been hot for that many days. Here and there we got into the 90s, Fahrenheit, that is. And we're looking at a week now in Germany where we're going to be close to the hundreds, or in the 100s Fahrenheit, that is, for the Europeans or all the other countries that don't use Fahrenheit. The weather forecast is talking about us having temperatures in Germany in the range 36 degrees Celsius to possibly even 40. And since I'm not a fan of heat, which is a complete understatement, I'm not looking forward to it. But the good news is I'm on a staycation that has started today. All right, so for the past few months, I've been working a lot. For the past 4 weeks, I've been the only receptionist at the company, because the other receptionist was on a 3-week vacation. And when she came back, she had high blood pressure and went back home. And the next day, she tested positive for COVID. And just like me, she made it through the entire pandemic without contracting the virus. And now she has it, and she's still on sick leave. And so the highest boss, the responsible person on the location that I work at, saw, or I had to help them a little bit, but they saw how exhausted I was, and that I couldn't possibly go on anymore, and postpone my staycation that was scheduled. And so they're closing the reception for the next 2 weeks while I'm on staycation. This past week we had an event with about, and this is the highest amount we've ever had since I worked for that company, with about 50 participants of a seminar that came from the States, from the UK, and from Japan. And I had to deal with it all by myself, in the sense that I was responsible for the meeting rooms and the assignment of the meeting rooms. I also had to create all the badges, that had to. They're not just badges, but they open security doors, and so they had to be programmed and personalized. Just thinking about it brings back the stress that I felt during this past week alone. And so it's been crazy at work. And I've also mentioned sometime during the past few weeks to the work council that my mental health is going down the drain because of the ongoing pressure that is on me. We have about, at the location that I work at, we have over 600 staff, and I was the only receptionist, and I said I can't keep going like this, and something's gonna have to break, and I need the assistance of other people, and so. Yeah, so we'll see what becomes of that. But for now, I'm on a staycation again for 2 weeks, and I'm really happy about that. I'm still in a totally stressed condition, which is also the reason why I'm not trying to figure out now how to hook up my webcam and what software to use for that, because it's a different software that I'm using for an audio recording. And so I hope you guys bear with me as I'm just posting this audio recording. So nothing strange about the fact that I'm not watching the news. I cannot bear it. I'm happy that things at work have eased up in the sense that I do not have to wear FFP2 mask anymore, which I think in the States is an N95 mask or KN95 in other countries, or the other way around. But the thick mask, I'm going to show you a picture here. We don't have to wear masks anymore. And what do you know? The numbers are going back up in Germany and surrounding countries. But again, don't take it as a personal attack on the country you are in, that I'm not up to date with things there. All I can bear is just make sure that I know what's going on in this country so that I don't break any laws. For example, I'm still using public transportation to get to and from work, 2 hours every day. That has not changed. And so, we don't have to wear the thick masks, again, the FFP2s or KN95s anymore, but the surgical masks are fine. Because the numbers are going up again, I am still wearing the thick mask though. And I'm bringing my not really little, but it's a USB fan that I can charge via USB on my computer. And I'm bringing that with me every single day, and I hold it up to my face every single day. Because air conditioning on public transportation in Germany is not a common thing. And so when it's this warm, yeah, it's better to have some air movement in front of you than have none at all. And about my job, one thing that has changed is that I feel the necessity to keep going there. We do have a new human resources director, a regional one. I'm not going to get into detail anymore. For those of you that remember, the team leader left, then the boss above her left, and we had an interim one that didn't really, do a whole lot of good, because he knew he was only the interim human resources director, and now we have a new one, and that is a female. And she just started working like a couple of weeks ago, and so she still has to get her bearings. But she was heavily involved in the decision to, for the first time since I've worked for that company, close the reception for 2 weeks. And I had to make that announcement via email yesterday, and I had to hang signs on the outside doors why the reception is closed and why we cannot grant access to people and blah blah blah. I don't want to get into it, but it was emotional. I think on Wednesday when I told my sister, I even cried a little because yeah, things are just changing, and when you're completely overworked and exhausted, sometimes you get emotional over things that a few days later don't seem so serious anymore. See what else. A whole bunch of you wanted for me to let them know how I feel about the whole Johnny Depp trial, Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. Um, Trust me, guys, I almost went on my other channel that I'm gonna have to rename too, because I don't want I don't want for it to have any connection to my real name because of the people that are on the internet nowadays. Not all of them, but the ones that are like that really ruin it for everybody. And so I almost went on my other channel and started posting about it because I did follow the entire trial. I had problems listening to Amber Heard once I realized that she is lying her ass off in court, perjuring herself. And I wish they hadn't done the whole thing. I do get why Johnny Depp wanted to come out and have his version heard and have the truth heard. And I get that. I cringed a lot when I heard the details, like especially the recordings, or when I saw some of the pictures, or when Amber Heard had taken pictures of him, nodding out or passing out, or they used different words for it, but it looked to me like he was sleeping. And even if he was heavily intoxicated, I still don't see why the whole world got to see these pictures. I guess it's just because he sued her for defamation, and so she had to make it as nasty as she could, or had to make him seem as addicted to drugs and independable and unbelievable as she could. Um, but to sum the whole thing up, um, yes, I did watch the entire trial, and I loved Ben Chu. I loved Johnny Depp's legal team, and if I had had the energy, I so much felt like doing a reaction every single day. But as you guys that followed the trial know, it went for like 8, 9 hours every single day, and I couldn't possibly do that. And I didn't have the time to edit, out a few clips that I would react to. But overall, I'm glad that Johnny Depp won. And I do not get how Amber Heard was awarded anything, because if you guys watched the trial, you know that Ben Chu, one of Johnny Depp's lawyers, kept saying during the deposition of Adam Waldman, who is one of Johnny Depp's lawyer that was not involved as a lawyer in the trial. But during the deposition, Ben Chu kept saying, I instruct the witness not to answer this question as it would implicate the client, what was it, lawyer-client privilege or something like that. And so, based on that, the jury couldn't have possibly come to the decision that Amber Heard was getting awarded anything, because there's no proof that Adam Waldman was making these statements on behalf of Johnny Depp or as instructed by Johnny Depp. And so I think, number one, Amber Heard should not have been awarded anything. And number two, Johnny Depp should have been awarded more. I think he should have won all 3 counts based on the way in which Amber Heard discredited herself. And so, yeah, I think the verdict, even though Johnny Depp's happy with it, and he's also happy with the fact that now the world knows his truth and knows his version, and he got to speak freely, not in cross-examination, but when his legal team questioned him and they let him talk, and he is a slow talker, not everybody can talk fast, and why would they have to? And so yeah, I'm happy for him, and I'm secondhand embarrassed for the Amber Heard legal team that kept showing up in the press, especially Elaine Brederhoft, who I have not been able to take seriously since she mentioned Amica cream, because it's arnica cream, and if she actually knew what that was, she would put it under her eyes so that her, the sacs under her eyes go away. Yeah, and she was lying in court, and Amber was lying in court, and it's just all the way around an embarrassing experience for them. But the good news is they don't realize it, and so they keep going. And so I don't want to make this video about that, but I did follow the trial just to answer the questions of those that were wondering about that. I had been a Johnny Depp fan for decades, since Edward Scissorhands, I think, or even before that. Not so much 21 Jump Street, I never watched that. And I always liked Johnny Depp because he seems like a sincere person. He comes off as an authentic person. And he said the same thing for years about certain events, and Amber Heard changed her version, you know. So, yeah, and she got caught in so many lies. I'm not even getting into it in this video. But I did watch the trial, and I'm glad it's over. And we'll see how things develop. It seems like Amber Heard can't make it out of the news, but yeah, she doesn't have the money to pay Johnny Depp, and she's probably going to have to file bankruptcy if he enforces it, which I doubt that he will, because he said from the get-go that for him it's not about the money, it's about him being able to tell his version, to tell his side of the story, and he did get to do that. In case you are interested in the trial, or you watched it the way I did, like all the way from beginning to end, not every single hour, but sometimes on busy days I had to watch the compilations or the highlights, and so yeah. But if you're interested in it and you want to hear my opinion on certain aspects of the trial, just put them in the comments and I will make an extra video. What else? I'm not watching the news, but of course I'm at work, and with over 600 people working on my location, of course people come to my reception and they mention certain things. And so they've been mentioning that there's a shortage of this and of that, and gasoline prices are going up and all of that. I'm not following that in the news, but what I've realized in stores in Germany is that certain products are just not there anymore. But it's not like, oh, there's no milk anywhere, not like that. But you see that, let's say, the milk of a certain company is not there anymore, and there are empty spots. And so I checked into it a little bit on the internet, and I saw that what the mainstream media is trying to push now is the agenda that everybody needs to go into fear because there's not enough food or whatever else to go around. And so they're pushing that. I'm not into it. I'm not worried. I know that there's going to be enough of everything for everybody. And so I'm not going into fear anymore. I learned that a long time ago when I stopped believing the mainstream media, which took a very heavy load off my shoulders because they keep pushing, it's the fear-mongering and pushing the fear agenda for everybody to just, clam up and be scared of what's going to happen. Another thing I wanted to address, because I've been getting inquiries about that, is ever since I posted the last video where I said bye-bye for now, people were concerned about my mental state, or, worried about me not being able to handle life as it was or as it is. And I've already responded to those inquiries, but just in case anybody comes to my channel now and listens to that video, I am fine. I'm only distancing myself from too much outside world impact, if you know what I mean. I'm not watching the news anymore. I'm not following the news. I don't have any email newsletters that I'm getting about, I don't know what's going on in my region or whatever. I trust that whenever something dramatic happens or when laws change, that somebody's going to mention it to me at work, because I can't get away from people at work. I'm at the reception. When they come to my reception, I can't say to them, okay, if you have anything to say about the news, stop right there. Don't say anything to me. I can't do that, and so I can't completely shut myself off from the world, because number one, I work as a receptionist. Number two, I'm using public transportation for 2 hours a day. Number three, I still go shopping in stores, and number four, at home, I have social contacts, and so when I say I distance myself from the chaos in the world, or I detach myself from the craziness in the world, then what I mean by that is that I'm not letting all these these agendas that are being pushed onto us get to me anymore. The more they're being pushed, the less I can take them seriously. For example, I watched the trial, the defamation trial, Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard, and then I saw what ABC, what Fox News, what I don't know, all the mainstream channels, what they did, because I watched some lawyers also that were commenting on what was going on in the trial, and they were comparing what the mainstream media is reporting about the trial and what actually happened in the trial. And since I watched a lot of depositions and statements, I watched a large part of the trial, I know that the mainstream media couldn't even tell the truth then, even though it was a public trial and everybody on the internet could live stream it, could watch the live stream. And so yeah, and that's what I mean by that. I don't buy the hype anymore. I look at my little vicinity here. I look at my world. Am I still able to pay the bills? Yes or no? Do I have a job? Yes or no? Am I able to continue working this job? Most likely not, but with the new boss coming, having that position now, maybe she's going to be able to change things. I told her already, if certain things do not change, she's going to have to look for another receptionist, because I'm not going to put myself through this until I retire. Absolutely not. And she knows, and she's going to try to figure things out, and we're going to have a lot of meetings when I get back from my staycation, and we'll see how things go. But I do have to make sure that my mental health does not go down the drain, and so I limit the negative news that I allow in my vicinity. That's basically what I was trying to say by detaching myself from, by saying I'm detaching myself from the chaos or from the outside world. Something else that I find worth mentioning concerning mental health is the fact that during the pandemic alone, dozens of my coworkers have quit. I mean, all through the company, not in my department. 2 have left, the team leader and the human resources director. But dozens of people have quit. One has quit, as far as I know. One has quit because she told me, because of her mental health, and she cannot deal with all the pressure anymore. And another one told me last week, and he's from IT, that he will be gone for 2.5 weeks. And I said, because I'm kind of close to him. And I said, may I ask, why is it physical or mental? And he said mental. Definitely mental, and he's not willing to put his mental health at risk anymore, or continue to ignore his mental stability for this job. And so he's decided he's going on a sick leave for at least 2.5 weeks, and after that the doctor will assess him again. And I'm thinking about doing the same thing, but right now I'm on staycation, so I just want to let the thought sink in that I'm getting my staycation, even though 2 days ago I didn't even know if I was going to get it, or if I was going to have to continue being the only receptionist for this large company. But yeah, and the reason for that is the other receptionist is still COVID positive. She still tested positive by the end of this week, and so she will be gone again for the fifth week next week. But being 53 years old and having seen a lot since 1987, which was the first year that I started working right out of school, I find it is a very positive thing that we're talking about mental health more. And I'm even seeing that at work, and I've been having a lot of good conversations with others that seemed stressed. Like, for those of you that know me, you know that a lot of people at work feel comfortable coming to me and, venting or telling me when they're not feeling well, or discussing really private problems with me. And I'm glad that mental health is coming more and more into focus. And I could see that the IT guy was semi ashamed when he told me. I said, "You don't have to tell me. I'm just interested, And if we hadn't been so close, he probably wouldn't have told me. But he seemed ashamed, like when he did say that it's due to his mental health that he will be gone for 2.5 weeks. And I said, no, don't feel ashamed, because we need to start the discussion about employers. They can't act the way they have for decades. They cannot keep pushing their staff to do more and more in a shorter amount of time. And when the employees quit, just hire new ones. Eventually, they're gonna run out of employees. And in the States, some of you might remember I also worked at Walmart and Target. Target was temporarily. And I did not understand how they were treating people that way. But then while I was there, they slowly realized that once you've grazed the entire area for employees and the word spreads that you are a bad employer, then you're running into problems, staffing or manning your stores. And I believe that's becoming a thing now, the discussion about mental health and how you cannot bleed your employees dry. I think that's a really good thing. And as I'm talking about mental health and all of that, I realized that I have like 50 more topics on my mind that I wanted to talk to you about in terms of updating you. But I feel really burned out. I'm really still stressed out. I mean, I still worked yesterday and I had to do so much to close things off and for people to know where to go with what issues while the reception is closed. And I didn't get out of there on time. I had to work overtime again. And so I'm really burned out, and I'm not going to make this too long. I wanted to pack in this recording as much as I could so that I'm doing all right. There have been no major changes in my life. I've not been COVID positive since the whole pandemic has been published or pushed or whatever. And I'm doing all right. I'm keeping my head above water. I'm trying to stay as cool as I can under the given circumstances. I have already taken out de-winterized my little cooler here, my AC unit, and I haven't used it though, because I have a big fan that when I get home from walking around in this heat, I mean from the bus stop alone, I still have to walk for about 4 more minutes, and I'm a fast walker. And like yesterday after work, I still went shopping because I didn't want to leave the house unnecessarily, and so I went shopping and I carried my groceries home in this heat. And it was approximately, yesterday they said it was approximately 29 degrees Celsius in the shade, and that is about 84 degrees Fahrenheit. And when you carry groceries and milk and watermelon and all kinds of heavy things, you get hot. And so I sit in front of my big fan, the huge fan, for about half an hour, and then I'm feeling much better. And yes, I've melted um, a bunch of pints of ice cream on my head in this summer season already. It works, and then I drink cold water to cool my body from the inside out, and so it's all good. And I've been reading books by Gabor Mate that I've mentioned to you guys in older videos. Um, One of them being In the Realm, am I reading this right? In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts and Scattered Minds. And another book is When the Body Says No. And so I'm still pursuing the whole thing, um, trying to heal emotional wounds from the past, and trying to make sense of life as it is now, and keeping my head above water, basically, and not letting the global news get to me too much, because it doesn't serve anybody. And especially during the past few months, I've been told at work again how some people really appreciate me being there, because I'm, like, to them the voice of reason, or for them to see me there in that same spot, at the reception, every single day, helps them too. It gives them some kind of constant in their lives. And since some of you guys have said the same on my channel, I'm gonna try to post more and not let a few months go by before I post again. I will most definitely try to do more recordings during this staycation. For now, I would just like to get everything back to normal, do all my laundry, catch up on all my chores. And this morning at 2:30, I woke up and I did all of my filing. Like when you get mail, when you get bills, and the bill is paid, and then I write on it, the bill is paid, or whatever. And I filed all of that, and so I'm up to date with that. Next is the laundry. And since I went shopping yesterday, I don't have to leave the house tomorrow, which is Sunday. And yeah, I'm just going to do one thing at a time, and also see that I relax. But I would also like to do a few recordings during my staycation. Possibly a video, but right now I'm so hot and so miserable. And yeah. But this concludes my update after 4 to 5 months. I can't even remember. I'd have to look it up when the last video was that I posted. But I hope you guys are doing all right. I hope you guys are keeping your head above water too. And I will talk to you in my next video. Tschüssi. Bye bye.